there's a movie called Walking on the Moon, and it's about a rebellious young teenager that was part of her family that went up to the Finger Lakes, and I guess Woodstock, and I don't know your state that well, but I understand that the Finger Lakes aren't too far from Bethel, and she was curious about the event, and they did an amazing job. So if you ever get a chance to catch that movie on one of your special services down there, it's well worth the visit. And how far is Rochester from Bethel, John? Over.
Well, this is W2JLD for identification. I'm believing it's about maybe 2.5 hours away. It's not that far at all. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. And you know, as we sit here, we talk about all the people and all the crazy stuff that went down. What do you think the place looked like if after every, even though the concert ended, everybody didn't leave there until a week or so. There was many people still left over after several hundreds of thousands of people left. But imagine what the place looked like after everybody left, and the garbage and trash and mud and the clothes and the tents and oh my God, there had to be 100 cars that were stuck in the mud and could not be retrieved. So, yeah, the cleanup was crazy. W2JLD.
Yeah, very good there, John. I'm going to break with you just for a second. I'm loving this conversation, but I'm just going to put out a call in case someone else would like to join our conversation. It sounds as if the band is fairly quiet. So as net controllers, we don't follow any set of rigid rules. If
you can hear me better, Joe. But I'm not sure if I'm over driving it or what. I'm using the 10-Tech Hercules with the 746 Pro, and I noticed that RF power level was turned all the way down. So you were hearing the minimum signal I can put out with the Hercules. I don't know.
Anyone else would like to check in? Please come now. Yours, Ed.
Kilo Bravo 3, Sierra November Golf.
Sierra November Golf.
The community. So anyway, don't have anything else. Thanks.
And 2, UNL listening. K8JET. Jimmy, you there? Yep, must be maybe at his doctor's appointment. And to UNL. I'll be back.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the flowers there, and thank you for picking me up there. I'll start checking in there. I'll usually check in 5, 6 nests every morning, but it's been out in the shed there. It's been too cold out there. Now I got heat, so I'll be in here.
I know what you're saying. And this morning we had a bit of snow, but we had that great big melt there, Norman. How about you?
Well, we had snow. Me, I never have enough. I like to see snow all year round. My wife says I'm crazy.
So you like snow? Well, there's no wrong with that.
Now, I love going out playing, and I got a white shepherd, and she loves it. She's out there making angels in the snow and all that. She loves the snow.
Yeah, well, very good. Do you have any pets to enjoy that snow with, over?
Yeah, I got a solid white German shepherd. She's 5 years old now, and been trying to get her bred there, but she wants to kill the male all the time. She tried to kill him 3 times.
Yeah, well, you know what? From one dog lover to another, I don't have a dog personally. We are a cat family. I've had cats all my life, pretty much, and almost all of them black. But I am a real dog lover. My daughter has a golden retriever by the name of Rosie, and she's only about 8.
With I'm Tango Whiskey Bravo. Thank you. A couple moments ago, I was here in California quite well. Let's try November 6th, Charlie, India Tango. November 6th, Charlie, India Tango.
¿Qué tal? Desde La Vega, República Dominicana, usted línea 3 Delta Golito.
Very well on this radio. Yeah, I'm getting a little higher compression reading than I should, but if you say it sounds good, I'm using a Heil Pro Set 7 headset right now with the microphone.
Well, anything Heil, I'm sure sounds good. That's the cat's pajamas of microphones. Yeah, no, it sounds good. I don't think you're overdriving it at all, Eddie.
Okay, you sound good too. Now, let's say, do you live in Michigan? You're in Ohio. Do you also live at your QTH is? I'm looking at QRZ, White Lake, Michigan.
Yeah, Roger. I live in White Lake, Michigan, suburban Detroit. I came down to Charleston, West Virginia, just on a little road trip, and to do some POTA. So I'm making my way back home now and stopping at some of the wildlife areas along the way.
Yeah, I grew up in Waterford, Michigan. I know you know where that is.
Oh, Roger. Yep, just down the street. I'm just down into White Lake. I'm just like a couple miles north of M59. I live right near Pontiac Lake State Recreation Area.
Yeah. I went to Waterford Kettering High School.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I knew some people that have gone there, or my kids in band would perform with them sometimes. My kids went to Walled Lake schools. We did live a little further south. The last couple of years, we did have to drive them to school just because we did school sports. Once we moved north of 59, then we were in, I think it's Huron Valley School. So we didn't want to have to move them in their last couple of years,
Yeah. I lived close to Watkins Lake, and then we also did a lot of boating on Cass Lake.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I take my wave runner out. Cass Lake is a good one for that. I wouldn't take my canoe or kayak out there, especially on the weekends. It gets a little crazy, but the wave runner is definitely a blast out there.
Yeah, Cass Lake was very popular on the fast boats, that's for sure. Going out on the Chesapeake Bay this Saturday.
Oh, wow. Nice. Well, you take a kayak out onto Chesapeake Bay. Wouldn't that be a little wavy?
Yeah, that makes it fun. I have a 17-foot kayak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine is definitely not that long, but
CQ40, N2 UNL. November 2, Uniform November Lima. Where is everybody today? Mr. DOG, Jetman, Mr. Chris in Virginia. You guys out here today? N2 UNL.
Like that. Well, Norman, I'm going to put you down as a bean in the pot here and carry out a conversation with you. I've also got John W2JLD. We were talking about Woodstock, and it's just kind of a nice little rag 2 hour. Nothing formal here on my ship. That's the kind of the way I roll. But I'm just going to break with you for a second and put out the call. This is Victor Echo 3, Bravo Victor Sierra, and I'm your host controller for the Nickel Belt Net for about another 25 minutes. And I would be very happy to take your check-in. Yours, Ed.
November 2, Uniform November Lima.
Okay, I got about half a dozen. Oh, great. I got a... can you come back in a little slower order there, please? Yours, Ed.
This is November 2, Uniform November Lima.
Okay, now I have N2 Uniform November Lima, and there was also a K8 call, and I didn't get all of that because somebody was on top of you there. The K8 call, can you come back with your entire call, please?
Yeah, that's Kilowatt Echo 8, Quebec Uniform, over.
Okay, KE8 Quebec Uniform. Yeah, I think I've talked to you before as well. How are you today?
We're doing fine, Steve. I was hearing you guys talking about Woodstock, and very good on that. And I was born in '54, but I remember being in high school when Woodstock was going on. That was a crazy time, man.
Yeah, well, I envy anybody that had any connection to it. And how old are you there?
I am 70. I was in 9th grade when that thing was going on.
Well, you would have been just old enough to make the pilgrimage. So I haven't got you up on QRZ yet. But how far are you away from New York?
Oh, probably about, well, see where Woodstock was at. I would imagine that's going to be somewhere around 400 miles.
Yeah, well, that certainly would have been worth the drive. And did you ever have any friends from your school go to it? Over?
No. Well, I did have one in the band I played with, Rick Lukowski. He was there. that was an interesting time, man. Very interesting time. You know, what our generation did, and getting the war in Vietnam stopped, and we did a lot of cultural good too. And I know people thought we were freaky, but I don't blame any of that on me. I'll tell you what, we did a lot of good for this country.
Oh, I know, and Mario, Lino. You go by Lino, don't you?
Roger.
Yeah, Lino, yeah, I've talked to you before there, and I'm just kind of reading your biography. You're a retired music teacher, played high school band, orchestra director, and, wow. And I know you love dogs because you got that in your biography, too, back to you.
Yeah, that's my great Pyrenees, Sully. He's my buddy, man. He's a rescue from Texas. He came up here with a bunch of frackers in Moundsville, and the next thing we knew, they deserted him, and he's floating around from camp to camp. He's getting shot at. You know, Great Pyrenees supposed to be about 130 pounds, so this one came in at 68. So we rescued him. We brought him home and did what we had to do. He was a little rough at first. He's a herder, so he's trying to herd my wife, but we fixed that. So, but we love him now. He's probably the best dog we ever had. Over.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, Lino, and we had our conversations there before about your dog, and yeah, you have a compassionate heart, my friend. If you would take a stray like that, and I think you were saying that. I remember a previous conversation that the dog was even shot at. Have I got that right?
Yes, you do. He was shot at several times, and that's when the Animal Rescue League went in. They took him in. They also got him, what do you call that, Steve? When you put the thing in the back here, tagged or whatever that is, chipped. Yeah, he got chipped. And we really want to make sure he doesn't get away from us because we got a fenced-in area. Pretty large area, so he can run and play and have a good time. But if he ever gets out, he's always coming back to us. Over.
Yeah, I'm just reading about Sully here, Great Pyrenees. Now, I don't know exactly what a Great Pyrenees is. I will look that up after I finish my shift. But from Moundsville, was rescued from Moundsville, West Virginia. He was a refugee from a fracking camp. Now, what exactly is a fracking camp there, Lino? Over.
Okay, this is how it works. Let's do some ID. D3BBXKEAQU. What it is they bring a bunch of frackers up from Texas and other areas to do drilling. So, and they set up camps in certain areas of the state. There was one in Moundsville. In fact, there's one not a few miles away from me at Brook Hill Park. They bring in trailers. The guys live there with their families. And that's a fracking camp. They're the guys who do the pulling the water out, chemicals in it, and all that stuff. So they come up here, they do their thing, and then when the fracking is done, I guess they got to go back to home or whatever that is. And it's pretty lucrative income from what I understand. But anyway, but they're busy like 24/7. They really don't have time for their families. They don't have time for the things they got to do, particularly taking care of that dog outside. So he got loose, and he was roaming from camp to camp, and sure enough, we got him after that. Over.
Yeah, I'm reading your bio on Sully, and it says you acquired him from a road animal project in St. Clairs, Ohio. It came in at 68 pounds, and now you got him up to 130 pounds, and as healthy as can be. What a wonderful story there, Lino. Over.
Oh, we love dogs. Except for one dog, all our dogs have been rescued, and we like to keep it that way. The day Sully goes, Dennis's discretion. And we just like to keep. But what are you talking about? You said about the studio. You was like sure PAs from the old days. You remember those vocal masters? Over. Oh.
Bit of a fade there, Lino, on the last part of it. You were asking something about my studio. Come back with the comment again. Over.
Roger. You guys, you were like vocal master PA, Shure vocal master. Do you have any experience with those?
I do have a Shure vocal master, and actually I found it at a guitar show. Now I don't know if you still like doing music. Or if you like playing guitar, it says that you play trumpet, guitar, and vocals. We have here in Elmira in June, I think it's the first Sunday of June, it's called the Elmira Vintage Guitar Show. And if you ever have an opportunity to come this way, it is well worth the drive, even from West Virginia. I know that's a hike. But if you got somebody that you know up here, you should check that out. And yeah, I have a fair amount of vintage equipment in the studio. My most prized possession after years of DJing, I finally got out of that. I got tired of lugging all the big equipment around. But when I sold that equipment off, I bought myself a pair of Alpha K7500s. the voice of the theater speakers, which are the speakers that were most common in the small studios, or not small studios, but small movie theaters. And I have those in the studio, and I have a Alan Heath mixing board in front of me. I love playing vintage music. I have a huge library on MP3. Great music lover of the 60s and 70s. I like really all music, pretty much up to the 90s, and that kind of went nuts on us. But I love rock and roll. I love listening to those speakers. And I also have a small sub, which I just use to fill in the bottom end. The A7 500s, they're good down to about maybe, the sweet spot's probably about 70 cycles. So they're not extremely bassy. But I just love those. And I also have a 1567 Eltic too, which I found, believe it or not, at a thrift shop here in Elmira. That's another really nice piece of equipment. And a lot of people are looking for those mixers. Over.
Roger that. Oh, definitely. The first band I ever played with back in Universal Journal, we had a set of those, and of course, some of our sound guys made some other cabinets in addition to that. But we used to power that with one of the first 700A phase linear power amps. Before that, we were using the Sun power amp, all tube, with the 6550 tubes in it. But then we were running the phase linear that was pushing those pretty good. And then what else? Yeah, the Sun board. It was 16-channel board, pretty big, heavy too. Everything in those days was heavy. You know, like me. I'm heavy anyway, but besides that, I play a lot of amps, but I have a Marshall 205C JBM, and I also use a Vox AC30, and that's 75 pounds lugging that thing around. You know how it goes. But I'm 70, I'm getting over that. The band is slowing way down, and I'm hoping that soon it's going to come dissolve, and I'll have to sell a bunch of equipment, which maybe means I'll be going to Elmira. Over.
Yeah, well, it's well worth the trip. Just plan for it. But it has become probably, I would have to say that it's probably the largest guitar show in North America now. And John Woods is a friend of mine. Started off from very humble beginnings. He's also a ham operator, but kind of lost interest in that. But and I believe this year he's actually going to encourage people to have studio equipment there as well. So, yeah, with my A7s, I power it with a Golden Tube Audio Class A amplifier. A lot of people don't particularly like that amplifier. I don't know why. Maybe it's not because it's considered audiophile, but what is audiophile, really? It's extremely clean, runs on Class A, and it has three 6L6s in parallel with each other on either side, and the driver is a 6SN7, so it has that nice warm tube sound. And I feel myself after all these years that I finally got my dream equipment there. Over.
Roger, I know what you mean. Well, it's up to me. Geez, I started collecting stereo stuff for my own personal use back in the late 70s when I was in college. And I acquired, at that time, they were pretty expensive too. I don't have any tube amps for my audio stuff at home. I have two Harman-Kardon Citation 16s. They're strapped for 500 watts a channel, so left and right. Then I have, I got the 4100 Marantz quad, which I don't use in quad, which runs the back channel. And, PL21 or 71 turntable, Vox A, not a Vox. Think of it here, Studer, Revox, that's it, Revox, 77, A77, and, whatever that model is, I got that back in 79. So, I mean, it still works, all my stuff still works, phase linear 4,000 preamp. I have the Jubal speakers, the JBL's L65, that's what I got on the front channels. So, pretty good stuff. But the thing with all stereo, no matter what it is, tubes, all the same, if it's pleasant to the ear and you don't get tired of listening to it after hours and hours of play, that's your system, man. I mean, that's how I see it, too. For a while now, I was thinking about going into the Dynaco 70 preamps, or not preamps, power amps, but, the tube jobs from back in the 60s. And they're nice and clean, too, if you, do some restoration on. Over.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, they were quite a famous little amplifier. And I believe, from what I remember, they were also available in a kit. And I know a friend that's got one of those. But anyways, Leno, I better move down the log here. I'm getting towards the end of my hour. I think there's a couple others there that want to have a chat as well. So, yeah, nice chatting to you. And I see your picture of you and your puppy up there. Great picture there, Leno. KE8, KU, this is DE3 Bravo Victor 7 Street, and we'll catch you down the log. November 2, November, is it Uniform November Lima. I hope I have that call sign correct. If you're still with us, come back. Okay, very good there, Brian. I don't have a strong copy on you, but fully readable. And how are you today?
Yeah, we're doing fine. We're just killing a little time before we gotta go to work. I hear the doorbell going off. I guess my son's home from school, but yeah, interesting. Just happened to drop in and check in there. Sometimes I check into the Nickel Belt from time to time, but today is very interesting. In different subjects of audio equipment. I prefer the Macintosh and actually rebuilding two Marantz monsters here, and we also like the Klipsch Hersey's speakers here. They're a little old, but we keep them in good shape, and they sound really well. Other than that, actually just checked in for the numbers. Just to keep my name at the top of the list and and say good afternoon to everybody. And we'll be listening out here because it's going to get noisy here in the house in a few minutes. So and we have to go to work. So anyhow, we'll move it right along. And thanks for checking us in. This is N2UNL. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Very good there, Brian. And just. Give me a location. Where is Peru now? Like, what large city are you close to there? If you got a quick moment to explain that.
Okay. Well, we're not next to a real large city. Let's see. We're in the Adirondack Mountains. We border Lake Champlain, so right across from Lake Champlain here, about a 15-minute ferry ride. We're into Burlington, Vermont. And we're pretty close to Montreal Canadian border, and the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base is also just down the road, about 13 miles.
Okay, well, Brian, when I talk to my American friends, I'm intrigued about some of these cities. And we all know our own state and own province, but I'm definitely going to look up Peru, New York. It sounds like it's a lot bigger than that I had kind of imagined. So, anyways, if the kids are home, I better let you go. Get on with your day. But I do certainly appreciate you checking in there, Brian. Over.
Okay, and thanks for picking me up there. And have a great afternoon, everybody. N2UNL.
Okay, you're very good there, Brian. N2UNL from the 7 trees, and I will put out the call here. I've got about another